Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Let's dive into a tale where a wild Karen descends upon a furniture store, setting the stage for an ordeal that leaves everyone scratching their heads. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like if you enjoy the content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a juicy story. Met a Karen in the wild today. I work retail selling furniture. Karen comes in looking for a small table for a camper. She likes two in particular, one brown marble laminate top, $299, one white marble laminate top, $349. They're roughly the same size. She asks why this one is $50 more. I tell her they have different manufacturers. She doesn't like that, but okay. She chooses the white one and says she needs it by Friday. I explain I don't have either in stock. They can be ordered, but the white one won't be here by Friday, but the brown one will. Then she asks if I can sell her the floor model. I explain that I cannot. She needs an explanation on that now. I tell her it's income tax season and we're not allowed. If someone doesn't see an item, how would they know they can order it? Still not liking that idea, she asks if I'll check a store about 50 miles away. I tell her I'm pretty sure they don't have it because my store's bigger, but I'll call and check. We share delivery crews so I can have it here by Wednesday. So boom, call, they say no. I tell her that. I explain it's a discount warehouse. I don't get an exact date of merchandise until it's actually booked on an 18-wheeler. Then my neighboring store calls back saying they found one. Great, I tell Karen and we go to the counter. As she's paying, she lets me know if it's not here by Friday, she'll be canceling her order. I tell her, cool, no problem. Now, instead of leaving, she and her husband go grab one of our ads. They see the brown table advertised for $199. Now, this part, not my fault. The company sends ads out every month for whatever reason. On 3/3/21, the company sent out new product tags with a lot of items price increased. So now they don't match. Karen sees the difference. I explain to her what happened and tell her that price isn't right, but it's listed in the ad, so I'll honor that and put the remaining back on the card. She doesn't want that. She's just saying she thinks the white table price was wrong. I show on my computer that I charged her the right price. I have no way to increase the price of an item, only decrease if necessary. She accepts that and leaves. Fast forward to me getting ready to close up. I call my neighboring store to confirm and items coming and going and no one mentions my table. I ask the store manager about it and he tells me they don't have them. I point him back to the salesman who called me saying he found one. Comes to find out it was a counter height version of the table she wanted, not the dining height. Now, as a salesman, I like to be out in front of any possible situation, so I call her to give her the bad news. My first red flag of this call is that she doesn't answer. Calls right back. I answer, thanks for calling blank, this is blank, how can I help you? Her rude butt responds, I didn't call you, you called me. So I apologize and give her the news and explain that the difference between these two tables is one digit on the item number and that he made a mistake. To make it right, I can give her the other table for $199 or a complete refund. Not good enough. Now she says this is stressing her out and ruining her life, states that she may have a panic attack. I explain that there was an honest mistake made. Don't matter, it's still my fault. I even referenced the fact that she stood in front of me as I called, got a no, then got a call back saying they found it. Karen's now asking how I'm going to compensate her. Confusingly, I tell her that I'm going to give her her money back. Nope, she demands that I give her something or let her have the table off the floor, which of course she's going to want a discount on. I explain again, no. In my head, I'm thinking, you already threatened to cancel if you didn't get it by Friday, so what's the big deal? We'll just cancel now. She demands I call my supervisor. Now, I know this is getting lengthy, but for reference, I'm 35 and my immediate supervisor has known me since I was 17. I've worked with him on more than one occasion. We play Madden together, and his wife used to do my mom's hair. I went to high school with his oldest daughter. Long story short, I know what he's going to say, and I tell her he's going to say the same thing. She then tells me I'm going to call him and ask him to let her have the one off the floor because she would hate to have to leave a bad review and call her right back. So I call him. Now, no, I did not give in to Karen, but like I previously stated, I like to get ahead of any negative situations as soon as I can. So I call him, let him know, so if when this complaint makes it to him, he'll know what's going on. He says to me, there's one thing you can offer her. Instead of making her come down to get a refund, offer to do it over the phone. Okay, cool. I call Karen. I can hear her smiling because she thinks she's won. I make it a point to sound as enthusiastic as possible. I tell her I have a third option for her. As a courtesy to save her a trip back down, I can give her the refund over the phone. Now I hear her get mad again, saying she thought that's what I was going to do initially. No, Karen, you were going to have to drive down, but here's your $370 back. Now here's the effing kicker. Once it's done, she says, "Can you call me when the table comes in?" It's a perfect example of the challenges retail workers face, especially when dealing with difficult customers who think they can bend the rules with enough pressure. And that ending, just asking for a call when the table comes in after all that drama, just the cherry on top of a classic Karen saga. And our second story. My girlfriend's ungrateful pregnant cousin wants us to return our new baby present for a better one. The story starts out a couple weeks ago when we were at a dinner party that all four of us were invited to. My girlfriend and I and her cousin with her boyfriend. The cousin is very pregnant and is the only reason I'm not as angry with her as I might have been. During the party, we're chatting about the pregnancy and due date, etc. When my girlfriend asks in passing, "What would you like us to bring for the newborn?" And the pregnant cousin jumps in with, "We'd really love a baby monitor." I was taken aback a bit, to be honest, for a moment with the ease she blurted that out. I then stopped and I thought to myself I should see things from their perspective. Even though I would personally never request a specific gift from someone, especially an expensive one, I can understand being pragmatic when it comes to a new baby. So with that in mind, I thought to myself, that's not that out of order to ask for something like this. Mind you, we're all in our 30s, this is their second child, and we don't have any children so far. We can also afford the gift, so no harm done so far. My issues start when she mentions a specific model she wants, a €220 one. And that if we can't find that when she offers a list of features they need, it should definitely have its own screen so that they won't use up their phone's batteries. It should have a temperature gauge, night vision, remote swivel control, motion sensors, the lot. I've not known this woman for long. I've only been with my girlfriend for a year now, so I decide to trust her judgment on this and I go with the flow. When we go home, my girlfriend understands and agrees that is a brash request, but PC's mom has helped my girlfriend in the past, and she asked me to do this just this time. The next few days, there are talks about that baby monitor and that PC found the one she wants on discount, etc. I read up on it, and the one she requested is from a baby brand that doesn't specialize in electronic equipment, but rather in bottles and chairs, etc., and the reviews for the baby monitor are bad. So I start looking for other options. I spent a lot of time researching this thing, from top 10 lists to video reviews to forum discussions on the difference between motion sensor and sound sensors, mum forums on the pros and cons of Wi-Fi connection on the camera, etc. Hell, I still have about 20 tabs open on Chrome, all on that stupid baby monitor. I ended up deciding on one of the Amazon's top sellers with more than 4 stars average reviews that ticked all the boxes in the right places. I even thought about durability since they also have a toddler, and my other 2 candidate products had some negative feedback on that aspect. We also ordered one of those flexible baby camera holders that can be mounted everywhere. So yes, as per the title, my girlfriend sent PC a link to the baby monitor, and she's not happy at all. She went through reviews and only found the negative comments about the screen's low resolution. It's the biggest screen on the market, twice the size of the one she wanted, that she doesn't believe that sound detection is any good despite the excellent reviews and much better battery life and much more. I don't care about the money. I care about the hours I spent researching this thing. For them to come back now asking me to return it, it hasn't arrived yet, and I'm in the process of requesting a return. I'm just speechless. Oh, and they don't really need a camera holder. It'll be a waste of space. I'll just put it on the shelf. My girlfriend's been a champ through all this and feels very bad about it. I don't know, I feel like an a-hole for being angry with a pregnant woman. She's due any day now, so we just said yes and okay to all this, but I'm this close to just canceling the request for return and just give them the camera with a postcard saying, take it or leave it. I didn't know they came with so many features. If she needs to see her baby in high def, you'd think she could go look at it in person. Nobody needs all of that. And our last story. HOA versus professional farmer. I'm a 10th generation farmer. That much I'm sure of. But if you saw my dad, you'd think my ancestors were digging around in dung right along with the Neanderthals, and he was one of them. I used to not see this as something to be proud of, but now I get it. Working the land is what I love way more than being cooped up in a stuffy office. But that's not what this is about. My family bought this farm we still own over 150 years ago. It's over 50 acres. Yeah, not a lot, but we always managed to make a decent living off it. Then this thing called the HOA pops into my life. Some construction company started building a new neighborhood right next to my land. In a year, they put up over 30 homes with all the bells and whistles and started selling them. In another year and a half, all the homes were filled, and this crazy HOA forms with a totally bonkers board at the helm. The president was some rich kid with a huge garage housing a Lamborghini, a Mercedes, and this giant red armored SUV called the Marauder from South Africa. I mean, who in their right mind keeps something like that around? But he loved tearing through the countryside, crossing water obstacles, and leaving huge tire tracks near the neighboring woods. None of that bothered me until the HOA decided I gotta follow their rules and put up a nice white fence all along the side facing the HOA, and let the residents access my small man-made lake I keep for the geese. Got that demand in an official letter from the HOA. "You'll be fined if you don't do all this within a month." I just tossed the letter. Then came a fine, which I also tossed. Next, I got a notice from a lawyer saying I was being sued for not paying the fine. I don't know what they were thinking, but I called my lawyer, and the HOA's lawyer immediately offered to settle out of court. I guess they thought this dumb farmer would be scared of a lawsuit. But that's not all. One morning as dawn was breaking, I heard some noise outside but didn't catch on right away. Then the noise got louder, so I finally woke up and saw the red Marauder stuck in my lake, half sunk, and this guy's soaking wet, jumping out of the cabin into the water and hopping my fence, running towards the HOA. Never seen a guy run so fast. I stepped outside with my shotgun and called the cops. The red armored vehicle had smashed through 3 parts of my fence, then straight through my barn wall and into my lake where it got stuck in the mud. Inside, there was a whole mess of alcohol bottles, a pipe with something funny, and the funniest thing, the cops found the HOA president's ID there. One of the cops, a buddy of mine from school, told me how they arrested the HOA president who pretended he just woke up, though he was clearly drunk and all scratched up from the bushes. He was yelling, "My dad's a surgeon, he'll sue you all." That genius had to sell his Mercedes and Lamborghini, which turned out to be pretty trashed, for a song to pay me for the damage. And he had to do 3 years in jail for all this. The judge gave him 5, but looks like he got some sense in him and got out early on good behavior for listening to some wise advice that probably would have kept him away from my lake in the first place. The HOA hasn't dared look my way since. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.